Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey, it's Jeff McNichol down here at Mom's Music, 1900 Melwood Avenue. I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the magic was at Frankfort Avenue, the Mom's Music at Frankfort Avenue, and I used to beg people to get a ride down there just to hang out with the guys and see all the cool gear. Now that I'm the owner of this store, it's like a dream come true. We're recreating the magic with the vibe that we used to have at the old store. We're carrying all the gear that you're going to possibly want. We're giving you the outstanding service and personal attention that you deserve. Yeah, so we've got the great guitar shop here. We're carrying USA Fender, USA Gibson, Paul Reed Smith, Gretsch, Jackson, Charvel, anything you could possibly want, we're going to have it for you. Mom's is and always will be Louisville's music store.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I'm your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now let's get this show on the road. Thank you all for tuning into the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson and I am your host. Holy shit, today it is July, by the way, it's July 30th. I have Bloodrunner on the show from the Chicagoland area, and they are super rad fucking thrash resurgence now for these guys because they were a band years ago. They kind of split up. Now they're back together, and it's going to be fucking rad. So let's get into that here in just a few minutes. But before we do, I want to go ahead and get the question of the week out of the way because, you know, I want to talk about a few other things first. So question of the week this week was, what festival do you wish you could have attended? And, you know, festivals, you know, in the summertime have always been a really cool thing. I went to my first festival show in 1999. It was Ozfest. I went again the following year in 2000. And then I did a few things. I've played quite a few local metal shows, metal festivals. Metal Fest, actually, quite a few times. But, like, I'm not really big on the festival thing as I have gotten older. I'm going to be going to one of the days of Louder Than Live. But it seems like, to me, back in the early 2000s, everything was like a day show. You had, like, 30 fucking bands on a show, but between, like, 2 or 3 stages. And now, like, these festival shows are, like, 2 and 3 days, and now sometimes 4 days long, and it's just like, I don't know if I've got the energy to do that anymore, personally. So, I asked you guys, what is a festival that you wish you could have attended? And I got some pretty cool answers on here. Vomit666 clothing line says any of the Wacken or Desert Fest London shows. That's cool. I could see that. Wacken, for example, you know, like I said, that's one of those shows that I'm going to have to go to Germany and I'm going to have to go to it. It's just plain and simple. Simon Saltero says Cliff's last tour, and he said he would like to have lived in the 1930 to 1940 New York jazz boom. That would be pretty cool. In the first Farm Aid, definitely. The Farm Aid shows always seemed like they were a really mixed bag of cool things going on, for sure. Heinrich Wolfman says the 83 U.S. Festival Metal Day. And that is a very popular answer. Mick from Wild Ride also says the US Fest. Ultimate Power Corrupt says all of the Dynamo festivals in the 90s. I'm not too familiar with that. I'm going to have to look those up. Courtney from formerly of Torment of Giants says not any of them in the past, but one for the future. She said she would love to go to the Blue Ridge Rock Festival, or whatever it's called, Blue Ridge Festival in Danville, Virginia. Got a few friends playing that show, like I believe Artwork for the Blind is playing that show. Skull Diamond says Hell's Heroes, absolutely. Chris says Dark Lord's Day at Three Floyds. Cool, I'm not too familiar with that either. Oi Brandon says this year's Riot Fest looks absurdly good, but totally can't make it. Also, Woodstock 94, if that counts. You know what? I'm going to hit back on that here in a second. And Jared says it hasn't happened yet, but he would love to go to Muddy Roots this year. He goes, did you see that lineup? Holy cow. Absolutely, I saw that lineup. The Hookers are playing that fucking show, and that's one main reason I'd want to go for that. But Woodstock 94 absolutely does fucking count for sure. And I don't know if anybody has HBO Max out there, and this isn't 94, but there is a new documentary out on Woodstock 99. And we were just talking about it on some shows here in the last few weeks. It's so fucking crazy. I remember buying that on pay-per-view for the second day because, I love Metallica and they were headlining the second day. But it is it's such a fucking train wreck. It always was a train wreck, and everybody knew it was going to be a train wreck. And now, I remember it exactly how they're painting it in this documentary. So, fuck. Insane. Fucking absolutely insane shit. So, anyways, I do want to bring up the most recent events here in music, I guess, with the passing of Mike Howe, Joey Jordison, and Dusty Hill. And it's just last week's episode, I gave my review of ZZ Top because I had seen them for the first time. And Dusty was sitting down because he had hurt his leg. And Billy said he sprained his ankle, but apparently there was something more going on, obviously now, after the fact. So, you got the tribute here at the very beginning of the show to Dusty. It's just, it's really surreal that it's apparently the Louisville show was the last show he played. And then this one hurts. This one hurts me just like Lemmy hurt. It's wow. But anyways, rest easy, Dusty, Joey, Mike. Put together a new power trio or something. Fucking for sure. So this past weekend was Metal Fest 10, and it was such a cool show, and we all here in the Louisville, Kentucky area, and now some bands from abroad have been able to come in and spend their time entertaining you people as fans. And I'm going to be checking in with some of them today here on the show that I had recorded from this past weekend at Lebanon Junction's County Line Swinging Doors Bar by Alan Ashball Presents Metal Fest. So they're going to be coming up here soon, here in the commercial breaks and such like that. And thank you all so much, and everything y'all have donated over the years of Metal Fest and donated to the Jimmy V Foundation. It's a super great cause, and thank you, Alan, for putting on the show for 10 years now. Fucking super cool. Down below there are links to the sponsors, and without you guys supporting them, they can't support the Metal Forge either. And I am so grateful that you all do help these businesses. Whether you're listening to their podcasts, you're buying instruments from them, you're going and getting tattoos, you're going to the Discogs page. Thank you all so much, and continue to please support all of these guys. Ageless Art, Tattoo and Piercing, Mom's Music, Maxwell's House of Music, Better Days Records, Unchained Tapes, Mercenary Press, The Wrestling Steve Show, The Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast, the It's Gonna Get Weird Podcast. Keep supporting those guys, because every bit helps us at the Metal Forge, and it helps them too. Y'all are fucking awesome. Thank you so much. Also, making sure you all click on the Spotify playlists as well. You get to hear all of the previous bands that have been on the show. and you'll be supporting those people as well too. Thank you all. So let's get into this right now. This is Bloodrunner. This is Metal Assault. All right, Metalheads, I'm being joined on the line right now from Illinois with Bloodrunner. Dudes, what the fuck is going on?
What's happening?
Not much. Just hanging out.
All right, I'm hearing some different voices here, more so than I usually do. Let's go around the little phone call here and tell me who's here.
Hi, my name is Manny. I'm the bassist.
My name is Neil, and I sing and play guitar.
I'm Rob. I'm the drummer.
Jeff, I'm the rhythm guitarist.
Awesome. Dudes, thank you all for coming on to Metal Forge this week. And tell everyone out there in Metal Forge land about Bloodrunner.
Well, Bloodrunner is a thrash metal band that started way back in 05, 06 by me and some of my friends in high school. We all had a passion for metal, speed metal, thrash metal. We all got together and started thrashing it out. And we came out with an album called Total Annihilation. That was in 07. And word got around. We played a lot of gigs around the Midwest area. We opened up for Megadeth one time for the Gigant tour, and we opened up for Testament one time also.
Nice.
And, yeah, that was, like I said, 06, 07, 08, 09. And then we kind of broke up for a little bit. And this past year, me, Neil, the singer and guitar player, decided to put the band back together. And it was kind of a bummer because the other dudes weren't down. They all had other projects and stuff like that. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to write the album myself, and wrote the new album, started looking for new members, and this is currently what we got going, just trying to get the new album done and get a demo out there to show some people.
Yeah, it's always something interesting to me for bands to get together and then break up and then, years down the road decide that, well, maybe we could give this another go. Because music has changed, there has been a resurgence with a lot of thrash metal and new wave of now called traditional heavy metal. It's interesting how things come around like that. Not just media like with vinyl and tapes and stuff like that, but taste of music does too.
Yeah, sure.
So, but here's the other interesting part of this. As we talk about it, you're talking about the band that started in like 04 or something like that, and then broke up about 4 or 5 years later, and then a decade later getting back together. Usually it's bands that were like in like 1978 to 1985 who got together for like 4 or 5 years and then broke up, and now 20 or 30 years later are getting back together.
Yeah, it is funny you say that because it seems like we're still young, but that was 15 years ago, 2005.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It's an interesting thing. So you said something a minute ago I want to hit on really fast, which is super cool. You opened for Megadeth.
Yeah, you did.
Wow. Like, see, that's rad as shit to me because I've opened for Anthrax, Testament, and Death Angel and Exodus. In my day. So getting another band on a big four thing is kind of like, well, we've pretty much opened up for the lower part.
Yeah, it was awesome to experience that. We were on the stage right next to them and it was packed and it was awesome. And actually there's a Blabbermouth article, if you look for it, they show Bloodrunner and they say opening up for Megadeth, the Gigant tour, and we play with several other bands, and they just mentioned our name for some reason, and that's really cool. Blabbermouth, mentioned us.
Hell yeah. And I mean, I have a real love-hate relationship with people like Blabbermouth and Metal Injection and Metal Sucks, because sometimes they do come off as really tabloid, like TMZ type shit.
Okay, I see.
But that's when they shine lights on independent musicians, that's when they're really doing a good job.
Right. I agree. And I think I might have looked once who the article writer was, but I was surprised that we even got mentioned and none of the other bands did, which is really cool.
Yeah. That means that you all have done something right for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So what's up? You've got the new music coming out.
Yeah.
When is that going to be ready?
Well, I just found half of these dudes, they're new. Jeff and Rob, the guitarist and drummer. I found them a few months ago, and we're still trying to get the few songs we want to write down, or not write down, but record and get them solid so we can make the demo and send them out to labels and see if they want to pick us up.
Right on.
I've known the bass player for a few years. Me and him actually played in another band when, in the 2010s, I was in a few other bands, and we played together, so I've known him for a little bit, so he decided to join.
Definitely.
So cool. We've clicked before musically, so it was pretty easy with him.
Right on. See, that's rad too, you know. I mean, just like getting it together and doing something these days, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You've gotta really step into it and pick it up and just sit there and say, you know what, I gotta fucking do this, or else it's,
sure,
you know,
sure.
What's that? If you're familiar with any of the View Askew universe, the shit or get off the pot thing.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, you have to, because if you don't, then why are you even doing it?
I agree. You know what? Like during the COVID thing, like I was thinking to myself, well, how's the way to get out there? And I'm like, YouTube, just play guitar on YouTube. But then something in my head was like, just get Bloodrunner back together. And that's how it started all up again last year. Definitely.
And it seemed to be, as I've talked to so many people over the last year and a half, you know, of pandemic shit, is there have been so many passion projects that have come out of this that I'm really hoping that most of these people continue their projects. That, you know, like the band Tantivy, for example, from Wisconsin, they were a passion project that was just two guys in two different bands that were friends and got together and were just like, well, let's do this. So they did. And now they're just like, well, fuck, you know, this is really fucking cool. We got a really good reception from it. So
it is cool.
We've got to fucking do something with it. And that's what I'm really hoping for all of these bands that have done that.
Yeah, that's how it seems to go too. And, you know, a lot of articles I read saying people are again, you know, doing things they wouldn't have done if this pandemic would have happened, even though it was a horrible thing. You know, people are doing stuff that they like to do. And I also read somewhere that guitar sales were like through the roof last year. Like people are just buying guitars left and right because they got literally nothing to do. So they're learning how to play guitar, which is really cool.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, with the pandemic and everything, I've come to alter my thought process on what's considered local music, you know, and it's almost an outdated term.
You think so?
I do. And the only reason why I say that is because, you know, without going to all your shows over the last year, that it's forced us to look to the internet, to finding these bands that are, you know, like me finding you guys on Instagram or finding another band on Facebook. It has almost redefined the local concept to music, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. Simple click of the button, type in whatever you want, and then you got it within minutes.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, but it also pretty much eliminated that everybody has to be in an area to be in a band, because you've got these bands that have members everywhere.
Oh, that is true too.
So, I mean, for as shitty as the pandemic was, it has actually, in my opinion, has brought out some really good product from a lot of bands.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Definitely.
So cool stuff. Other than the, you know, trying to get these songs down to record and shop it out to any kind of labels or anything, I'm sure you already have some in mind of who you want to go with. But were you planning on doing any kind of independent release prior to?
You know what? I was thinking about maybe one of those songs, making it a single and releasing it on the internet. I'm still thinking about it, but so far, like maybe 50-65% chance I'll do that.
Right on, right on. I didn't know if you were going to, you know, another really big thing that has cropped up over the pandemic is these independent labels, like these independent tape labels that have sprouted up, and, you know, maybe going with somebody like that and doing like a special edition release of something. Yeah. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. There's also, you know, splits are really popular too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And that's another cool thing too that has happened, like just not even just splits on like 7-inch vinyl, but there's a lot of split tapes coming out. There's a lot of there's still a lot of split CDs that like quote sampler discs is what they were called back 20 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So it's cool stuff for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Splitting, you know, I've known a few bands, or not known them, but heard about them, that they get big by doing that, you know, splitting the album with them, the demo or the 7-inch, like you said, and go on tour, and next thing you know, they're being on an interview.
Definitely. And, you never know what's gonna catch fire at that point, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, I always have said that content is king no matter what. So the more content you can put out, bam, the better your presence is going to be. Obviously, we all go through the thing of playing a bazillion shows in our local markets if we don't get a chance to go tour, and it kind of hurts you and stuff like that. But I think if you constantly have new content coming out, it kind of eases that pain just a little
always
bit.
Helps.
Yeah, it always helps because there's always something, whether it's a new shirt or a new compilation disc of not a fucking greatest hits or whatever. You know what I mean?
I have that feeling that people want to hear the new stuff, a lot more than anything else. And I want to release it too, but I want it to be like, I'm more of a full album type of guy, so that's why I'm kind of iffy on it. But like I said, like 65% chance that there'll be a single coming out eventually.
Absolutely. And I think too that I'm sure the following that you all had prior to splitting up so many years ago, I'm sure they're already jazzed that knowing that you guys are back together.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, that already in its own right is a fulfilling thing to know that there's always going to be people who are like, holy shit, that band is back together.
Yep.
Regardless of quote, regardless of if a band is quote original members or not, I think if the idea is there from an original member, I think it still works no matter what. Just like, I cite Motorhead at this all the time because they have had 3 distinct lineups in their career. They've got the original classic lineup, and then they've got the 4-person lineup, and then they've got the lineup that they had, for honestly longer than the original lineup even happened.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Motorhead,
with one person who was there the entire time.
Megadeth too. They're a popular one to think about like that.
Yeah, it's always for me the Motorhead shit. The Megadeth thing has always been the Dave and Dave show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Up until recently.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Had to catch myself on that. So, but yeah,
okay.
and Metallica's the same way. It was always the James the James and Lars show, and I think more often than not, there's all of these bands who have done that. It always seems like there's 2 guys in the band that just really get on with writing with each other.
I agree. That's usually like the recipe for success, the 2 guys.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think John Lennon and Paul McCartney, that was their thing. Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, so on and so forth. There's just so that intricacy between these 2 people that I think they are the fuel behind most of those people's success. Most of those bands' success, rather.
Oh, yeah. I would agree.
All right, Metalheads, I'm here with the sound booth with Maggot and Randy from Blood of Angels. Dudes, what's going on?
Fucking metal.
I know,
yes,
right?
Just enjoying this badass time, 3-day concert, get to camp out and have a lot of fucking badass bands all in one spot. And that's just the 2 things I love the most is camping and metal. So,
Yeah.
By the time this is being recorded, this is Friday night. This is early, and you guys play on Sunday. Is that right?
Yes.
Play on Sunday about 7:45, something around there. And what I love most about this is that it's going to a great cause. It's going through the fight against cancer. So
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you guys are from Tampa, right?
Yes, sir.
yeah, we traveled pretty damn far.
This is
to
your
be
first
here.
time in the Kentucky area? I mean,
Yeah, as
it
this
is for
project,
me.
yes, for this band.
Yeah,
as
and for
Blood
the
of
band
Angels,
it
yes,
is.
This is our
hell
first
yeah.
time.
Quick question is, how has cancer affected your life?
My girlfriend has brain cancer right now, and she thinks this is really noble and great of me to do a show like this for the causes and stuff like that, because she could have 3 months, she could have 3 years, you don't know, with that type of cancer, so that's why this is so special to me.
Yeah. My dad actually, cancer killed my dad,
No.
my grandmother, and a couple other family members. So
Well, before we go, let's get a big fuck cancer, all right?
yeah.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Fuck cancer!
Yes, sir.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com. Hey, are y'all in a band? Do you need merch for shows? By now I'm sure you've seen all the Metal Forge patches that are available, along with many more. Well, the printer I use for those is UKR Patcher. Check them out on Facebook and Etsy. They do awesome custom work and for extremely affordable prices for any band budget. Check them out, UKR Patcher on Facebook and Etsy. Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now. All right, so the album that came out back in, it says here on the Metal Archives, which for all intents and purposes is pretty much Wikipedia for metal.
Yeah,
and if you're familiar with Wikipedia fact or fiction type shit that is put out there, they get a lot of stuff right, but they get just as much stuff wrong. And you know, because it's just like Wikipedia, it's edited by the members and the people who access the site. I can edit shit on there, for God's sake.
Yeah, I noticed anyone can edit whatever they want or add to it.
Right, but they do at least make you cite proof. That's a good thing about it. So it says here that the album came out, Total Annihilation came out on April 15th of 2008. It was an independent release. It's got 10 songs on it. So I'm looking at the album cover for this, and it's pretty cool because, you know, the logo where it's got this like green glow to it, it's got this typical thrash logo where it's just like sharp, angular, kind of reminds you of like the Metallica logo, but not necessarily. It reminds you me of you know, that typical 80s thrash metal logo, and then it's got the skull with the radiation.
That type of look, that was like us 100%. Then that's what we were going for.
There's that so Cold War fears in the imagery, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Like I said, the radiation logo behind the skull with the you know, the metal hair going on. So how much now has the band evolved and changed from art direction?
Well, honestly, without saying too much, like when you listen to the new songs, you'll hear there's more intensity to it, and you'll just, I guess I could say it's like more of a cold type of imagery than back then. With me and the old members, there's a lot of partying, drinking, hanging out with friends. We were also in high school then, so, you know, every weekend we get together and have the best time we can. So it's more of an adult type of sound. When new stuff comes out, you'll hear more of a maturity to it. Yeah,
a little bit more grizzled, as it were, because you've been around the block now.
Oh yeah, add some more weight to it, you know.
Definitely, and you know, and that's the thing I always try to look at is I look at natural progression of music.
If we would have came out with the album sooner, honestly, it was definitely high intensity and speed. But we only wrote a few riffs before we broke up, but it was definitely faster and intense.
Definitely. And, you know, faster and intense is always great.
Yeah, yep.
Because it's the thrash way of life, I think. It goes on like, that's the way it always should be.
So we were still young. We were recording, or not recording, but making the new ideas. But it was definitely that, you know, we wanted to go faster.
Absolutely, and I can agree with that because that's in thrash metal, to me, it's got to be super fast, and it's got to be, for as stupid as this is going to sound, it's got to be super fast, but something you can still groove to.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree with that.
As long as there's that, I think it's totally good.
Awesome, yeah.
I'm going to switch gears here. I'm going to ask you guys some general profile questions about you as people, because that's what I like to do. I like to know what make people tick. So if you guys are game, let's get some of these out of the way.
Let's do this, man.
All right. What food can you not stand?
Cactus and asparagus.
Interesting. I've never actually eaten cactus before.
Really similar to asparagus. They both have that like mucus type of feeling on the side. You know, kind of gooey.
I imagine like aloe vera, an aloe plant, how it just like seeps. Ugh.
It's similar. I mean, have you had asparagus?
Yes. Yeah,
so
but not many times, because it's just like, ugh.
Yeah. I don't like that stuff. So yeah, it's a horrible texture and the taste. It's like, I'd rather just not eat it.
Absolutely. What metal band does everyone like but you?
Me personally, man, you really want to hear this?
Of course.
Megadeth.
You're not a Megadeth fan.
I am not a Megadeth fan.
I mean, you know, I can get behind you on this. Only for let me say this. I can get behind you on that because it was very much for me like Iron Maiden with Megadeth. I had to take the Nestea plunge. I had to go see them live before actually appreciating what they do.
Oh no, I can I can appreciate the musicality. I can appreciate the talent behind it. But when you put it all together, I just feel like there's things I'd rather be done different, and that's why I don't enjoy Megadeth.
I understand. To me, it's like they're more music than content. Does that make sense? I think their lyrical content, where in some things is very, very, very good, I think it falls second place to the music, to the actual technique involved.
Okay. I actually see what you're saying. So,
well, I think Dave Mustaine sings very offhand live. He mumbles through a lot of, you know, he just mumbles through the lyrics, in my opinion, live. But I still appreciate what they do live, and it, like I said, it kind of turned me into a fan.
You know, what's interesting is, you know, I've heard their discography. I like every now and then, personally, what I do, I'll be sitting like in a car or something, and I'll be like, I am going to listen to something that everyone recommends me to see if I still dislike it. And opinions change, you know, and like as a person you change, and you know, I can say now I can listen to things I used to hate in the past. So my opinion might change at some point in the future. I mean, what kind of animals are we if we're not changing animals? Yeah, I mean, I plan to do that, but you know, the funny part is me not liking Megadeth, and then I'll hang out with some other friends of mine, and we'll be, you know, slinging back beers, and I'll be riffing on a guitar, and they'll be like, dude, that sounds like just like a Megadeth song, you know, and I'm sitting here thinking I'm playing something really awesome.
And there it is, for sure.
Yeah, not to say I'm talented as a musician as they are, because I don't think I am, at least. But yeah, I guess whether I want to or not, there's been an influence on me.
For sure. I think you hit the perfect point there about change. We are ever changing, ever evolving animals. And I seriously believe, just as much as I said earlier in the show about the natural progression of things, and how it was also brought up about the maturity level based on your previous album to what's coming up next, it's that. There is a certain maturity level I think we have to reach as people to really appreciate certain things. For example, I used to fucking despise Bruce Springsteen. Okay. I thought he had diarrhea of the pen. He would just fucking one line of lyric in a song, and it's like the highway's jammed with broken heroes on a last chance power drive.
Oh, jeez.
It's one line of lyric, and it's just like, what in the absolute shit is this? And then all of a sudden I hit an age. There, it clicked. And all of a sudden I was like, wow, I really get this now. So we're ever changing, which is a cool thing.
Yeah. I mean, similarly to me, I used to hate Tool. Absolutely hate them. I remember there was this guy I knew. He was really kind of a really annoying guy, and he'd always just blast Tool all the fucking time, and I just couldn't stand it. And like now, I'm a big fan. I've even seen them live, and it's interesting because I remember a person I was dating, and she was like, "You used to hate Tool, and now you're fucking putting them on." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, what can I say?"
Right, and you know, I'm very much the opposite. I used to really like them, and now I don't.
Yeah,
that's so good.
No, I'll tell you this: like, I'm not one of those persons to be like, Maynard is an absolute genius, right? And sit there and feel like a philosopher as I'm reading their lyrics. But like I've come to enjoy and be able to enjoy their music.
Absolutely. So, what was your first concert?
Mine.
Well, whoever wants to answer. What was your first concert?
My first concert. This is Neil again. It was the Ozfest 03.
Wow.
That was pretty awesome. It was heavy.
Definitely. Any memorable moments from that show?
If I'm correct, Slayer played, and I remember looking into the pit, and I was like, man, this guy, like, he looked like he was possessed, just like dancing, like satanically dancing or something like that. And I looked at it, I was like, wow, man, this is serious. And also during Slayer too, there was a mud fight between the lawn and the seats, and that was pretty awesome. I remember that. That blew my mind, actually.
Oh my gosh, this is too fucking good, because I was going to say the same thing.
Oh, really? I bet you were there, right?
I saw them in 99.
Oh, 99, okay.
I saw Ozfest in 99 the first time I went to an Ozfest, a big festival show like that, and Slayer was sub-headlining for Black Sabbath.
Okay, yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
I went to Noblesville, Indiana. When Slayer took the stage, every stitch of grass that was in the lawn seating was gone.
Oh, no way.
There was
every venue has like that happened with, or every venue, experienced something like that with Slayer. At least one time, the fans just do something and it's fucking awesome.
I mean, it was literally chaos. Fucking incarnate. I have never been to a show like that since, and I want to see it again. As I've gotten older, I want to see it again. Oh my gosh. But that is absolutely a memorable moment. I mean, there was nothing but grass and trash in the air, and people were like, I mean, it was literally like, if you ever watched the videos to Woodstock 99.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was exactly like that shit.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear? I don't know, honestly. I guess forgetting lyrics to a song.
Yeah, that sucks.
Fearing, yeah.
Yeah, mine's getting twisted testicles.
Oh, ouch.
I never got them, but like I've seen what happens.
Yeah, where they
in emergency personnel. So
yeah, because if that happens, you're at least losing one of them.
Yeah, I mean, you got about like 45 minutes before you say goodbye to old buddy down there. So. Yeah,
that's messed up. That is a legit fucking fear.
Yeah, so whenever I get like a lower lower abdomen, like I'm fucking sweating. I'm anxious. I'm like, is that my balls? Like, what is it, man?
Jesus Christ. So I guess that answers the next question: is what do you invest too much time into?
Yeah, worrying about twisting my nuts. Yeah.
Family jewels.
Saturday, August 14th, 2021. Stranger Attractions and Wise Blood Records present Heavy Hell 2 with Grave Ripper, Basher, Mother of Graves, Hate Monger, Lady Beast, Stress Angel, Plague Years, Bible of the Devil, The Lion's Daughter, Fister, Senguisabog. Show is at 1. Doors are at noon. $25 in advance, $30 day of show. All ages, be there. All right, Metalheads, I'm here with Big Al Harley from the band Boozer, who just got off stage here at Metal Fest fucking 10. Dude, Al, what's up, man?
Living life, drinking as much as possible,
Yes, because that's what it's all about.
Running up bar tabs.
All right, so this is the 10th year of Metal Fest. You know, it's an institution at this point. So, what does, playing a cancer benefit mean to you?
Well, it's reached into everybody's life. Cancer is a bastard. He's not a cusser. It's a bastard, and it gets into everybody's family, and it just ruins things. And Alan, I've been printing T-shirts for Alan for a long time, but he's like, every year it seemed like I didn't have a band.
Right.
At that time, the personnel and stuff, and he's like, man, you ready? I was like, I got a band now, so we were able to do it. So
I know, and I still have most of my early Metal Fest shirts that you have done, and it's so cool, and you've given back to the community and everything.
I try.
Thank you, brother.
I
for
try.
Doing everything
I deeply appreciate that.
And if you ever want any band shirts, check out Big Al Harley. He's on the Metal Forge Facebook page. You can get a hold of him. Get this guy some info. He will print you some fucking band shirts, and he does a great job.
Boozer, Make It Solid Kentucky on Facebook.
Hell yeah. Give him a like, a share, and a follow. Al, let's get a big fuck cancer, okay?
Fuck cancer!
Hey guys, Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called The Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is The Wrestling Steve Show. And I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
Hey, it's Mark Maxwell at Maxwell's House of Music. Listen, all this stuff is now available to purchase on our website. Check it out at maxwellshouseofmusic.com.
We carry all the top brands, like Fender.
We got Gibson.
We also have basses.
We've got ukuleles.
We got drums.
We've got sound gear.
We've got keyboards.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you said musician, and it comes to terms with it comes with that there's an understanding of who you are, of identity, right? So I remember one time, because it comes into overthinking is what we spend a lot of time doing sometimes, is that I couldn't understand what the difference was between being a musician and being a guitarist, and it would fucking just rack my brain all the time because I'd leave a show am I a musician? Am I a guitarist? What the hell is this? So, how would you be able to spot the difference? What makes somebody say I'm a guitarist and then somebody else in a similar situation say I'm a musician?
To me, to define yourself as a musician versus just a guitarist would be, well, what do you contribute to it? Are you only a guitar player? So would you be, if you don't view yourself as a musician at that point, do you view yourself as an instrumentalist? Meaning, are you actually contributing to the writing aspect of music? If you're writing your own music or coming up with different melodies and so on and so forth, I think you would be defined in my eyes as a musician versus just an instrumentalist, which would be just somebody who can play guitar.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Or multi-instrumentalist if you play bass and banjo and mandolin and lap steel and shit like that.
Kazoo and harmonica. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Who do you wish you never saw live?
I don't know, actually.
I got my answer right off the bat. Social Distortion.
Wow.
For me, I don't know, actually. I don't like these bands. I saw them live and I would never see them live. Not I wouldn't want to see them, but just seeing them
ruined it for you.
I was dragged to see Social Distortion, so and that's why I didn't enjoy it. It's I'd rather be sitting at home in silence, even reading a fucking book, and I don't read at all.
That's harsh. because that was actually my first big band show.
Really?
Yeah. Everything that I went to before that was a local show, but the first band that I actually had like won tickets to go see was Social D here in Louisville, Kentucky. I still have the shirt. And it was and here's where you're going to know it was 25 years ago.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
I would say like some bands at Riot Fest I saw, I could go without seeing them.
Understandable. Yeah, I mean, big festival shows like that. Yeah, there were bands at the years I went to Ozfest that I would be like, why in the fuck am I standing here watching these guys?
Yeah, that's true.
Metalheads are usually eclectic groups of people, and we tend to collect a lot of things through life, whether it's been on tour, knickknacks and shit like that. What do you guys collect?
Well, I would say since I've been going shows, since early 80s. I always collect my ticket stubs. Those were a big collection. Back in the day, that was kind of a big thing, little memoir day. The flyers as well. Besides, even still to this day, it's merchandise.
Yeah, for me, going to shows, it's always just been like, memorabilia. I love t-shirts. Like half my wardrobe, people are like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt, dude." Like,
this happens.
I'm a big t-shirt fan. I love collecting long sleeves, hoodies, all that stuff. Always like being up front, trying to catch pics, take pictures. I'm one of those guys too. Like, I actually like to be where the action is with the crowds and being in pit and being up front, and that's like the whole experience of actually going to a show, and that's what brings that's what gives you your like, wow, like this was such a great time.
Definitely. And it's really cool, and I've always wanted to do this, but I've never really got to because it's expensive as fuck to do, is I've always wanted to go to like a string of shows, like a leg of a tour from somebody, like 4 or 5 shows on this part of the tour where it's like, you hit like Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, where you just go from show to show to show just to see the difference.
Following the tour, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, that would be a cool thing for me to like, collect like a little bit of a scrapbook piece from like, I went to these like 7 shows in a row for fucking Metallica or whatever, or Motorhead or whoever.
Right.
That'd be really, really cool.
Sure. It's like you said too, it is an expensive hobby, to get up and do that, to actually put your mind to it and be like, I want to do this. I love this band. I actually want to get out there and follow them and go to these shows. Because, maybe one show is better than the other show. Maybe that show was better than that, like that.
Well, yeah. And
a different set list.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like we're playing these songs, and tonight we're playing that. So, this is a special song, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it could go, it could go anywhere.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. And as much as I love like Iron Maiden, I would not want to do it with those guys because they're one of those bands that they play the same set every show.
Yeah, it could get a little mundane.
Yeah,
sure.
So, I mean, you're seeing the same show, you're seeing the same, you might get a song in a different order, but you're still seeing the same 16 songs. Yeah, so that would be different. And so what song do you listen to before every show you play?
Ooh, okay. Now that's a loaded question. Because we are in Bloodrunner as well. We do other projects, so it would depend on the
project.
The project at hand. If we were gonna do like Bloodrunner, for example, I would definitely probably go into Old School Destruction, Annihilation, Sepultura, for sure. Definitely in that area, kind of get pumped up with it. Absolutely, to bring up that fire. Get pumped and then just rock that out with that kind of attitude, that energy. And it depends on the project. Whatever it follows suit to is pretty much I'm going to go into to kind of put that into my mentality to be prepared for doing the show to the best set list we can do,
definitely. I could get that. I can get behind that for sure. What was your favorite TV show growing up?
Oh man.
That's hard.
The Munsters.
Well, for him, okay. Now that was Manny right there for you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was a big pro wrestling fan, so
yeah, he still is.
I watched a lot of wrestling. TV shows.
Too close for comfort.
All right. So you hit on something here really fast. I'm gonna cut in on this. So you were a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
The '70s show.
The Simpsons.
Okay. So that was Neil for the '70s show.
Nice.
And I mean, I'm the oldest in the band, so I mean, I'm gonna go back with Welcome Back, Kotter.
What?
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take you back in time here a little bit.
Married with Children.
Nah, that's even a little more recent.
No, that's compared to Welcome Back, Kotter. That's like that was on.
Yeah.
That just ended last year.
Another decade or so. Exactly. So yeah, it goes to show my age. Yeah, Welcome Back, Kotter was always fun. I mean, there was a few, what is that? All in the Family.
Right on.
Good
times.
Fun. You obviously can tell where I was going. So that's my heydays.
Absolutely. My parents watched all of those shows, so by default, I did too.
Right.
I don't know if you guys get MeTV where you're at.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
And I will tell you what, it is the absolute worst fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, MeTV sucks, man.
No, I love MeTV. Don't get me wrong, but it is the absolute worst.
It does bring the vintage, but then it's just kind of you get
to see some of the bad acting.
Well, the thing is, it's on repeat.
Yeah, there is that because there's so much syndication, but
after a while, it just kind of runs out of its fun.
Sunday mornings from like 7 to 9 is the worst fucking day in the world to wake up to hearing the fucking Welcome Back, Kotter theme.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah, now, it's so fucking bad. Be fucking hungover and just hear, welcome back.
Yeah. But I'm going to say one thing. When I was in more of my youth at that time, and it was Sunday, was Samurai Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Kung Fu Theater.
Yeah.
That was my addiction.
Nice.
And then Son of Svengoolie, Tales from the Crypt, and Tales from the Dark Side.
And we're talking like MeTV, but not the same Svengoolie as who is on MeTV right now.
No. Because, it was it Kozo or?
Yeah. Richard Koz.
Richard Koz, yeah. Yeah. Because the original Son of Svengoolie was just Svengoolie. He became Son Svengoolie.
Right.
Yeah. And he was adopted into the series. But I grew up with that. So,
Right on.
Alfred
Hitchcock, of course. Yeah.
Definitely. I got a rapid fire question. I'm going to need an answer from all four of you guys on.
All four guys.
All four guys. I need is a rapid fire. Bam. Sabbath or Zeppelin?
Sabbath. I think that was unanimous.
Unanimous across the board. Sabbath passes. Hell, yeah.
He didn't disagree.
Okay, here's another rapid fire question. All four of you guys. Denim or leather?
Leather.
On
chicks.
Especially.
Another unanimous vote there. Leather passes. Denim, sorry, guys. All right, metalheads. I am here with Dave from Biohazardous Records. Dave, what the fuck is up, man?
Not much. Just having some fun.
You're here at Metal Fest. This is the first time you've been here. Is this right?
First time.
And 10 years, is I go back with you quite a ways with Overload, and here we finally got you down into Kentucky.
Finally.
Fucking for a nice big festival show. Dude, tell me how cancer has affected your life.
Well, I had kidney cancer a few years back, and had to have my kidney removed, and it changes your life quite a bit, and after before that, my father passed away from acute lymphocytic leukemia, and then we just found out that my wife's my mother-in-law, my wife's mom, she has breast cancer. We just found that out last weekend, so we're here, cancer it's a killer, man. I mean, it's not an easy thing to go through.
No.
And I don't wish it on anybody. And I like the fact that stuff like this happens so that we can help support each other and
build awareness and get
get
people involved with the cause and with the cure.
Right.
Well, Dave, this next band's about to start. I appreciate it. Let's get a big fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer!
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast. We're on season 2, so you have a whole season to get weird with Frank Green and Scott Clark. The best part is there's always laughter.
Oh, yeah, you need to pull that out.
We have national touring comedians, NFL stars, rock stars, your local friends. It always gets weird. Weird answers.
Have y'all ever snorted coke off of a 78 Pinto? No? You ain't no man.
Weird questions.
Who had a bigger cocaine habit, Jock Sutherland or Kaywood Ledford?
Neither one, because they stopped beating their wives.
And weird we never even thought of.
Well, no. My friend is on acid, and I sent my friend to go find a payphone so that I can call and turn myself in for murdering this guy and ruin my life.
We love all types of people, but we don't love all people.
Weird. It's Gonna Get Weird is the name of the podcast, available everywhere. And thank you to Big X Sports Radio for being a proud sponsor of It's Gonna Get Weird. Frank Green, Scott Clark. Yeah.
What is something that you've always wanted to do, but you're not coordinated enough to do?
Ooh, okay. Oh, that almost sounds like a drummer question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Play like 300 plus BPM.
Wow, that's rough. That's like super fast and shit.
Yeah, you blast in another project. So yeah, that's a goal though.
I got one. Go on a half pipe. Like
oh, there you go. He's a boarder, and I'm wearing Vans. Yeah.
I can only go on flat land on a board, dude. I suck.
For me, Neil would be metal drumming. That's impossible for me.
I could show you.
Oh yeah, sure.
I could teach you.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. I charge 35 a half hour. I'm good.
Hey, 35 a half hour. That's cheap these days.
I got you, man. I said some stuff.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Ooh. Oh, flakes.
Did you say flakes?
Yeah, people who say, I'm going to be there and let's jam and do it and never make it.
Understandable. There's a lot of those in this business.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
that's very common.
Yeah.
We know.
Oh, yeah, we definitely know.
Yeah, we're pretty dedicated. So, yeah, we put a lot of work in. So it's hard when people waste their time, you know.
For sure. Is that another unanimous across the board pet peeve?
Well, for mine, it's people that don't respect my time.
Understandable.
I would say lying. I don't like liars.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, who does? I mean,
yeah, nobody really likes that.
Yeah.
But
I work in a pawn shop, so I have to.
Best I can do is $35.
All the time, you know. So.
Yeah, that's part of his nature. That's his nature. He gets paid for that.
Yeah.
So you work in a pawn shop, and
I do.
So the cool thing about that is if anybody brings in a fucking awesome piece of equipment,
it's how I got my cymbals.
Yeah, you get first crack on it, right?
Yeah, this guy with some brand new cymbals that fit. To be honest with you, like, you know, I was very skeptical at first, you know, working at some place like that, and then I got into it, and I was like, wow, you know, as a musician, there's a lot of cool stuff like
They got perks.
Especially instead of buying stuff brand new. Hey, look at these speakers that we need for like for audio and all that sort of stuff. Hey, I could get I get these. I could do that.
We need that mic recorder.
I didn't have it, so I didn't have it. I had the one for ours.
and you probably get a stupid good deal on it too, like cost plus 10% or some shit.
Like your basic 20%, like on everything, but you're a pawn shop. We sell stuff for a used price, compared to when you go to a store and you're buying it for brand new. But
for sure.
I know quality. I've actually built my repertoire of stuff, which I have from the pawn. Like my first 2 guitars I bought on my own, but then like I bought like this amazing pedal. To be honest, I don't know how I got away with it, but
don't incriminate yourself.
I know, right? a brand new James Hetfield Iron Cross guitar, which is worth $1,300. I got it for like $500.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, like I said, there's a lot of perks and a lot of good stuff that comes out of the pawn shop.
Definitely, and of course you get all the people in there that History Channel has glamorized it with Pawn Stars. You get all of the people in there that are trying to just sell goofy fucking shit just to get meth or something.
Where, all I can say is, where do I start?
Exactly.
Where do I start?
Exactly. You have to choose one, but what album is an absolute playthrough for you?
Oh, that's the question. For me or for everybody?
For everybody.
Oh man, that's really like all the way from beginning to end.
Yes.
Do you have all night?
Yeah, you got to pick one.
Just one album?
Just one album right now.
Man,
I know it's a hard question because there's just so many that you could pick.
Yeah, for me, it would be. It's hard between the 2 albums, but it would be
Ice Turf.
Ice Turf's Dante's Inferno album. My fault. What's the album called? Ice Turf Burnt Offerings. That's the album. Burnt Offerings. That's the album. Yeah.
I'm going Justice for me, Neil.
Nice.
Yeah, I went to that show in USC Pavilion. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. First one that comes to mind would be the Jar of Flies EP by Alice in Chains.
I like that album too. And you know what? It took a while for me to get into like it, but I saw that. But I actually do appreciate it. Oh man. Oh my God. That's just so hard, dude. I mean, do I have to pick a genre? Can you shoot me a genre?
You could pick anything, any genre. If it was the White Album, that's cool.
The which one?
The White Album.
Oh, all right. Well, how about this? If you shoot me a genre, then I'll go off of that because there's just too many.
Country music.
Johnny Cash. Got that all day.
Anything Johnny Cash is a playthrough?
Yeah, actually, I saw him when I was 5 years old. It was my first concert, and actually how I was influenced to be a musician in the first place.
Sweet.
Johnny Cash, June Carter Cash, and Waylon Jennings.
Dude.
I was 5 years old.
Damn, man. See, I was probably 14, and my parents went to see Waylon Jennings in Nashville, Indiana. And I wanted to go so bad because fucking Waylon Jennings is fucking badass, right?
Yeah, awesome.
And
I put on a hell of a show, and it was fun.
And
I saw
didn't get to.
Having a good time. I'm like, I want to do that.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. As always, links will be listed below. So click those links. Give these guys a like, a follow, a share. Go and support these guys in any way you can. Find a way to get them some fucking PayPal or something, donate to the cause. Fucking, cause metal, that's what it's all about. It's about donating to the cause and standing up for shit.
We need your,
support.
Support this new, quasi, not necessarily local metal scene, but this independent metal scene.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Do you guys have any shout outs you want to give to anybody today?
Going on to your last thing, if you check our Instagram, you'll see we got some merch out. We came out with some patches. We got some shirts coming out. And, you guys say, help us out any way you can. Send us a DM, order some, and that would be awesome.
Hell yeah.
And this is Rob, and I would just give a shout out to some of the big influence for me and great friends: Joey Nunes, Soulfly, Tom Palaciewicz, Extra Center, Gorgasm. I could go on with that list, but everybody's just been there to help me see this through and been behind me the whole way.
They'll be my not real brothers, but guys I grew up with. Jesse and Steve, they're in the band called Sierra Viscera.
Yeah.
That guys, I used to play with them, before we were a different band, but, they moved on and they're playing this different kind of music, and, they're doing great now, and I just want to shout out to them as well,
From Neil, I'll just say to all our fans out there, so the young ones and especially the old ones, if they check our shit on the Instagram, on the website, on all that, stick with us, and I promise you won't be disappointed.
Oh yeah, for Manny, I'd like to give a shout out to my family. Hello, good evening.
Awesome. Hell yeah, guys. I got one more question for you. What album changed your life?
Actually, it's kind of irony because you've been mentioning Metallica a lot, and actually, because like I said, I'm the oldest one, but since Metallica kind of was just kind of new into the scene, and you're talking about 82, 83, Master Puppets kind of launched me, was my first thrash album. And that kind of started me off on the influence on the metal, besides Judas Priest, and Sabbath, of course. But yeah, definitely metal, Metallica got me into where I'm going right now.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
I would say Justice for me, Neil.
It's a throw up for a couple albums. I'm a huge, we've been talking about Metallica all night. I'm a huge fan of theirs. I grew up during that black metal era.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of get introduced. But like what my mom and everything was always playing: Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Maiden, Van Halen, Joe Satriani. Those were the guys that I grew up on listening, and that was the stuff. But Maiden was actually a really big one for me. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
For me, it'd be the self-titled Skid Row album.
Nice. Don't get a lot of people mentioning Skid Row, which, I think that they were on par there for a little bit.
Yeah, they were. Slave to the grind.
Yeah. They were, they had it going for a while.
Oh yeah, they're playing with Pantera. They can't be that bad.
Right. Dudes, thank you so much for coming on to the Metal Forge this week. It has been an awesome fucking show. I have had so much fun, so much laughs. We get the philosophical shit in there as well. Making sure everybody knows everything about every band that comes on the show. Thank you all again so much.
We appreciate you, man. Thanks.
I'm really looking forward, and hopefully, you guys are out playing shows here soon. I'm really looking forward to maybe bringing y'all down here to Louisville and getting some shows lined out.
Oh, that's awesome.
That'd be great.
Be fucking cool, So, and since dude was a wrestling fan, we're going to get into this last track here. And because of Gorilla Monsoon back in the day, I always loved Gorilla's commentating. And he would say, the immovable force is meeting the unstoppable object or something like that. So that's what this is going to be here. This is the unstoppable force. Hey, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of The Metal Forge. I want to take a minute to remind you guys about the Patreon page. Over on the Patreon page, we have the tiers set up to support the production of the show. We feature the Down and Dirty, which is just $1. There's nothing special for that one, it just sends me a thank you because every dollar helps. Then there's the Double Down and Dirty. Much akin to the Down and Dirty tier, everything helps produce the show in the end. You make your presence known, and I appreciate that more than you realize. Thank you for being a dedicated friend and supporter of the Metal Forge. By selecting that tier, you will receive some cool Metal Forge stickers in your mailbox. Now, we're really going to start pounding the metal madness with the Apprentice Metalhead for just $5 a month. By becoming an Apprentice Metalhead, you'll be given early access to the shows, published 24 hours before everyone else gets it. You're also going to receive 3 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You're also going to receive a 10% discount on all Metal Forge merch, and you're going to receive a sweet Metal Forge patch for your battle jacket or backpack. And now, here is the big one. This is the Master Metalhead for just $10 a month. By becoming a Master Metalhead, you will receive a hand-numbered Metal Forge Master Metalhead membership card. You're going to be given early access to the shows as well, with 36 hours before everyone else. You're going to receive 5 entries in any contest that we do here at the Metal Forge. You'll be able to submit audio questions that I will use on the show of you asking questions to the upcoming guests. Remember, timing is everything, and you will need to keep up with the upcoming guest list on the website. You're also going to receive advanced knowledge of any new merch coming out and be given a 25% discount on all Metal Forge merch. And you're also going to get all of the other rewards from the other tiers. So visit patreon.com/Metal Forge Radio today and help support the Metal Forge. Rock on.